Oh, oh, oh. Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. We are in the final 10 mornings of the 7th semester of Meaningful Mornings. In our 7 semesters, we would have met for 680 mornings. In this semester, the first of 2022, I want you to share with me, every one of you to share with me, how have you changed over the past 110 mornings? What have you learned that you're now living from chapters 5, chapter 6, now chapter 7? I'm waiting for your sharing. How have you changed? What are you living? Because Meaningful Mornings is not designed to be passive. We remove the recordings after 24 hours to encourage you to be active. You're unitasking. You're working with more ease. You're reflecting more. You're more patient. You're contemplating. You're recognizing existence in that which exists. You're disciplined. You're vigilant. You're creating space in your life. Awesome. I can't wait to go through the chat to read this in more detail. And then when I meet you, to judge you on that. So now you've given me material to judge you with. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there's a group of awesome seekers, like all of you. And they're asking awesome questions to a group of awesome teachers who give awesome answers. Some of these are, what is Maya? The answer, creation. The next question is, what is Taranti? Which means, how do you free yourself of Maya? And the answer is, guide. It is only through a guide that one becomes free of Maya. The next question, what is Narayana? The answer, consciousness. Very much like what has been shared in Bhagavad Gita. And the next question, the one that I'm really zooming into, what is Shuddhata? Shuddhata means, how do I become pure enough to feel consciousness? And the answer given is guidance. If you love Sri Krishna, then automatically what is mandatory is that you love his guidance. They are not mutually exclusive. If one does not study and follow Sri Krishna's guidance, then it is unfair and inaccurate to share that I'm devoted to Sri Krishna, that I love Sri Krishna. Our Veda guides us, and Bhagavad Gita is like the fifth Veda. They're not separate. Our Veda guides us in two subjects: Dharma, which is so evident in Bhagavad Gita, and Brahma, which is also so evident. Dharma means path, and Brahma means perfection. This is the path to perfection, a perfect joy. These subjects cannot be known by the body. Our body cannot know what our responsibility is. Hence the importance of guidance. Our mind, intellect, ego cannot know what Brahma is, that is perfection or infinity. So our own experiences and our own logic will not guide us to infinity. You can't accidentally come across infinity. It is only through guidance. And the more you reflect on this, the more you will accept this, the more you will love Bhagavad Gita. In verse 7, Sri Krishna is sharing, I. Where else is this I felt? We all feel I. We've never not felt I. I am infinity. The word we've been using for the sake of alliteration is consciousness. I am not creation. I am not the creator. I am consciousness. Shared from another perspective, I am Brahma. And so, if I am Brahma, there is only Advaita. Advaita means oneness. And nothing but. If there's a but, it is not oneness. Are you with me? I'm sharing this because I hear some teachers in the name of Vedanta, some students in the name of Vedanta, sharing words and sentiments like having the Brahman mind. That is such a dilution and such a casual way of knowing and relating to Sri Krishna, the infinite. If one is Brahman, even for a kshanika, which means for a moment, and this was shared very clearly at the end of chapter 2, that even as you're dying, if you know your vastness, you are vast, period. You cannot have a Brahman mind and then come out of that. That is a wrong teaching, which I do not want you to follow, to use, because it's casual then. You can't feel infinite casually. Today I was feeling infinite. Now I'm not. If one is Sri Krishna, all one is doing is being. There's no doing, there's only being. You don't become infinity to heal people. You don't become infinity to teach people. You become infinity to be. Are you with me? I've shared this in different ways. Please do not try to find utility in enlightenment. Utility is a very worldly concept. We are pursuing enlightenment because that's our nature. If there's a benefit, for who? There is just oneness. I feel with such clarity that is being shared, it helps us not to be distracted. For those in our Upanishad course, we came across the word apramatta, which means not to deflect, not to be distracted. But that only happens when there's clarity, clear guidance. Sri Krishna shares, I am the protam. I am the original. Like the word prototype, correct? That came from protam. I am the original. And upon me, there is the appearance of creator and creation. And I am you. You are me. The original is water. Why would you want to be a wave when you can be water? Waves keep on growing and falling. Who wants to go through that? What we have to do is be more authentic and deep to realize we are water. And I'll share a really systematic way to shift from wave to ocean to water tomorrow, because you will get angry at me if I don't cover a verse right now. So I'm shifting into verse 8. The beginning part of chapter 7 is quite powerful. Verse 5 is the seed for the 13th chapter. Verse 8, which we're about to explore, is the seed for the 10th chapter. Shri Krishna is not making these teachings up as he goes along. He knows when to teach what. This verse and the next series of verses are encouraging us to tune in to the center, to forget about the pearl, names and forms, and tune into the thread in the pearl, which is existence. You will find the word in used many times in verse 8. Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi shashi surayoho pranava sarva vedeshu shabda ke paurasham nrshu. Aham. Aham is Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna's consciousness, which means you. When aham is now used, you have to feel that's you. Rasaha means sapidity, but it is the ability to quench. Where? Apsu, which means in water. The ability for water to quench our thirst. That is Sri Krishna. If water doesn't quench our thirst, water really has very little value then, correct? Bathing comes second, quenching comes first, yes? That's the central part of water. And he's speaking to Kaunteya, the son of Devi Kunti. Be vigilant in your understanding like she is. Asmi Prabha. I am the light where? Shashi and Surya. I'm the light in the moon, I'm the light in the sun. If the moon and sun didn't have light, didn't share light, how would we function? Yes? The central part of the moon and the sun is light. Please don't think of this so physically, but the sun gives heat too. We can't live without heat. Fine, this is an example. the light. Pranavaha, which is another word for Om, Sarva Vedeshu. I am Om in all of the Vedas. The central teaching of the Veda is Om. Om is a means to Brahma, which is the ends, with quality to beyond quality. Shabdaha in K, which means space. I am sound in space. If there was no space, we would not be able to hear. In reference to Bhagavad Gita, we would not be able to listen. Right at the beginning of the chapter, Shri Krishna says, listen if you want to grow from knowledge to wisdom. And finally, Nrishu, that means in human, I am Paurasham. And there's some casual commentaries that say virility and strength and so on. But Pujya Swami Tejomayananda shared, the center of a human is Purusha, the spirit. Real humanity is not even to serve humans, it is to be the spirit. These are all visualizations that when you interact with the sun and the moon and the Veda and so on, to tune into the center. Clear? More will be shared. Inspiration to application. Your application from yesterday was to wear a sutra. Can I see it? I see Rani, Swatandra. I see Rekha and Bhavana. You already wearing a necklace doesn't count. I told you to wear a new one, yes? See, wearing a sutra is a ritual. That ritual is to remind you of something higher, but finally you shouldn't need to be reminded. Yes? We have to let go of that ritual. I'd shared this in our Upanishad class yesterday, that for the astute student, they don't need to be reminded about dakshana, dana, daya. This is their natural lifestyle. Here is your application for this morning. I'd shared yesterday that meaningful mornings, when you join, you're signing a non-compete clause, that you're not competing with anyone but yourself. If you haven't signed this, then you can't be part of Meaningful Mornings. I want you to rate how competitive you are. 1 is awful. All you do is compete with others. 100 is awesome, which means all you do is compete with yourself. You rate how competitive you are. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.